Well, hey guys, and welcome to another pickups video. And as you can see, I'm doing a little something different here. This might be a temporary thing, but I see so many people that I watch on YouTube do videos standing up, and I kind of wanted to give that a shot. And this may be a test run video that I don't ever do it again with, but I just wanted to give it a go. I kind of would prefer to be standing somewhere closer to the rest of my stuff, but I had to find something with a shelf on it that was at about eye level here. So anyway, let's just go ahead and do this pickups video for it, and then I'll decide later on if I want to try this again. So this was a much bigger month for pickups than I thought it was going to be. I went a little crazy with spending. Yeah, some of it was tax money, some of it was just money that should have went towards other things. But all things considered, I'm happy to have a bunch of new additions to my collection. I have 3 games, and then I have a whole big old stack full of movies. So we'll just go ahead and jump right on in with the first thing here. And this is Sniper Elite 3 Ultimate Edition. The Sniper Elite 3 game came out, I think, just sometime last year. And I got Sniper Elite 2. I can't remember the exact name of it. And it was like an Ultimate Edition like this. And then this one came out, and it was like 40 or 50 bucks. So I decided to just let it go for the time being. And then we got this for $30. It has, as you can see there, all this extra bonus content with it. And it's getting pretty rare to be finding any good new deals for 360 games. But I couldn't pass that up for $30. The next two 360 games I got were both around about $10. Now, neither one of these are great games. Actually, one of them is widely considered to be one of the worst games ever released. We'll get to that one in a second. But the next game that I got was Star Trek. This one was released around the time that the... now I can't remember the name of the second Star Trek movie. Let's see, it's on here. Star Trek Into Darkness, which I haven't seen. I've kind of turned my back on those remake movies because they deal more with, you know, Kirk and Spock, and I'm not into the original series. And even though I enjoyed the first movie that J.J. Abrams did, and I probably would enjoy the second movie, I'm just not going to invest a lot of time and money into that. But video games are another story altogether. I have a friend of mine who will probably see this video, so hey Ron. He bought this game and played a little ways into it, and he was enjoying it. And when I was able to get it for, like, I think it was a little less than $10, I just couldn't think of any good reason to pass it up. Now this one here probably has a million good reasons to totally pass it up, but I picked it up anyway because it was cheap, and I'm kind of a fan of stuff like this. I'm a fan of bad movies, I'm a fan of controversial movies, and I'm a fan of bad games. Like, I really want to pick up the Sonic game that came out in 2006 on like 360, even though it's supposed to be horrible. This game is supposed to be pretty bad too, and this is Ride to Hell Retribution. And there's a lot of channels like IGN and Machinima and all them who've made fun of this. I know that some of the people that they have who will play games for videos on their channel have played this just for the hell of it. They've probably done drinking games, or they've probably had to get drunk in order to play this and enjoy it in any capacity. Like I said, I think that one was around $10 or $11, and I feel like sometimes it's good to have a piece of gaming history in your collection. Even though I just gave the developer of the game some of my money, that's not always a good thing to do. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and get started on this gigantic stack of Blu-rays that I have, so I'll try to buzz through these as quickly as possible. I mentioned, I think it was in my video about Fury, about how my interest in things like World War II and Vietnam War and the Civil War and all those kind of things have been getting stoked here lately. So I had to go and pick up a few documentary-style Blu-rays to hopefully kind of satiate that want for information about these. So anyway, this was the first thing that I picked up. This is Vietnam. This is 50 Years Remembered, it's called. Now, I don't know much about the company that made this, but it was only $10 for this. So it was the first thing that I grabbed. Then I had a chance to get on Amazon, and the History Channel has released a few documentaries, including this one that I picked up that is World War II in HD. And they have also released a Vietnam in HD that I'm going to pick up at some point. But I really just wanted to have like one comprehensive style documentary for each of the time frames that I was looking at. I'll have a couple Vietnam War ones, and that's fine. I've always liked a lot of the Vietnam War movies. Good Morning Vietnam, Platoon, Full Metal Jacket, etc., etc. And then the last one of the documentaries that I picked up this time around is the Ultimate Civil War series. And this is another one I found really interesting. Now, of course, Vietnam and even World War II, there was film footage from all of those. There's no actual film footage from the Civil War. So hopefully if this has a lot of reenactments, it won't come off really cheesy. I just don't want to watch a lot of fictional movies about those anymore. I want to see some actual documentaries that go into a lot of, coverage and in-depth analysis of those wars. I feel like it's good to know some parts of history. I'm not a history nut by any stretch, but these kind of things, Civil War, Vietnam War, World War I and II, the Korean War, those are things that are kind of interesting me right now. So, hey, what can I say? So we jump from something historically important to something that's neither historical nor important, but this was just something that I had to have back in my collection. I did own this on DVD for a while, and then I got rid of it. I guess maybe I was a little ashamed because of what this movie is. But this is Zombie Strippers, and this movie is exactly what it sounds like. It's zombies, it's strippers. It stars Jenna Jameson, the famous porn star. It has Robert Englund, a.k.a. Freddy Krueger from the Nightmare on Elm Street movies, and even Tito Ortiz, the UFC guy who was dating Jenna Jameson at the time, is in it. This movie it's pretty bad. It's pretty cheesy, and there's a reason why you watch something like this. You have to be into campy zombie horror movies with a lot of TNA, and that's what this is all about. But I'm glad to have it back in my collection one way or another. Now here's another movie that I've been wanting to get for a long time that I watched sometime last year, and I think it was one of my first recent viewing videos, but this is Under the Skin with Scarlett Johansson. Really interesting, very unusual sci-fi movie. She does a really good job in it, but it's just such a under-the-radar kind of movie, I think, and I'm so glad to have this. I was actually wanting to get this in my collection sooner and more than even Lucy, even though I did enjoy Lucy. And here are a few movies that I've done recent viewing videos on that I loved enough that I was like, I gotta get those. I got The Judge, with Robert Downey Jr., Robert Duvall, Billy Bob Thornton, Vera Farmiga, Vincent D'Onofrio. This had a bigger cast and more recognizable names than I even realized before I watched it. It's a really good movie. This is another one that I really, really loved when I saw it. I did a video on that one. Boyhood. Amazing movie shot over the course of 12 years, with including all the same actors, including this kid who grows up in front of your eyes. Patricia Arquette, Ethan Hawke are in it. Directed by Richard Linklater. Really good movie. Definitely something that I think everybody should check out. Now here's a sad omission from my viewing past. An iconic 80s movie by an iconic 80s director. One that I'd never really seen all the way through that I can remember. But this is The Breakfast Club. And this is a 30th anniversary edition of this movie. It's been 30 years since this movie came out. The same week that this came out, we had a 50th anniversary versions of The Sound of Music, a movie I've never seen, and I don't really ever aspire to see it, but it shocked me to know that it's been longer between today and when this movie came out than when this movie came out and Sound of Music came out. Only 20 years between those two and 30 years since this has been out. I can't say it enough. That blows me away that, one, it's been 30 years since that movie hit theaters, and that I've never really ever seen it all the way through. So now we're going to fix that. Next movie I have up here is Unbroken. Now this is a movie I have not seen. I hadn't heard a whole lot about it. What I do know about it is, one, it was directed by Angelina Jolie, and two, it's a true life story about a guy who, amongst other things, was in World War II, which I think is what really drew me to it. but he also had an incredible journey in his life, from being like a POW to competing in the Olympics. So I just wanted to check it out. That I got last week. The next two movies I got today, and I'm gonna start off with the one that I intended to buy today, which was Interstellar. Now I've been waiting for quite a while to actually get a chance to see this, but I go into it with some trepidation because this is directed by Christopher Nolan, who directed the Dark Knight trilogy, which were all awesome. But he also directed Inception, which, don't kill me, but I really did not like Inception. I bought into the hype with that movie, and I checked it out, and I was really disappointed in the fact that not only that I saw it, but I had bought it. I did eventually sell that movie, if I remember correctly, which I don't know. And now the collector in me says I should have just kept it, even though I didn't like the movie. But I'm hoping Interstellar will be good. It's got a good cast. Once again, I didn't realize all the people in this movie. Aside from Matthew McConaughey, there's Michael Caine, Jessica Chastain, Anne Hathaway is in it. I think that was the main people. But yeah, so I'm hoping that will be good. Now that was the movie that I wanted to get today. This was the movie that jumped out at me, and as an impulse purchase I picked up. But this is Wild with Reese Witherspoon. This was a Academy Award nominated movie. Reese Witherspoon was nominated as Best Actress. Laura Dern is in it. She was nominated for Best Supporting Actress. And this deals with a true life story, and I wanted to check it out. I don't know. I like Reese Witherspoon's movies, and this is different. And this movie, looking at this movie today, while getting this movie too, I realized that this is more the kind of movies that I've went for the last several years. This is the kind of movie that I'm getting into more now. More dramatic type movies, more realistic / non-fiction style movies. It's kind of blowing my mind here lately that I guess it's my age is starting to catch up with me. I still love good action movies and sci-fi movies and blockbusters, but I'm starting to open myself up more to those movies that really touch me and make me emotional and show me something that's real. Alright, now the last couple things I want to show off are... Whoops, I almost dropped it. The couple movies that I'm going to show off are some things that I was given for free, so I would be remiss if I didn't include them in this. And these are not in cases, they're just in sleeves. They're disc-only movies. I'm not a big fan of having disc-only anything, but like I said, these were free, so I wasn't going to pass them up. So the first thing that I have here is The Heat. I haven't seen this movie. I may have this digitally, but now I have a physical copy of it. A movie that I've been wanting to watch for a long time, that's Life of Pi. And then the last thing is another comedy movie called The Internship. Wasn't something I was looking to purchase, but I did want to see it, so now I do have it in a disc copy. Well guys, that's it for this pickup video. I tried to keep it as short as possible, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, I was not expecting that much stuff for the month of March. I am still waiting the arrival of another item that I'm going to do an unboxing for. I thought it was going to be arriving in March. I contacted the makers of this particular item, and they said it's probably going to be April. Note that I say probably, so I'm keeping my fingers crossed that I get this item, because I've been dying to show this off now for a year. So anyway, that's it. I'm done for this pickup video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.